Todd Chrisley explains his fallout with daughter Lindsie and reveals the $1 million settlement he received.
Hello dear.
Welcome to my Allison News channel.
On my channel you will find viral update news. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Todd Chrisley has been in the news quite a bit this year.
This is partly because he and Julie Chrisley were recently released from prison. Additionally, they are set to return to reality television. Now, the former Chrisley Knows Best star is speaking out about his frayed relationship with his daughter, Lindsie Chrisley. Regarding the Chrisleys' return to reality TV, Lifetime recently released the trailer for their new docu-series, The Chrisleys, Back to Reality.
It will premiere on the network on September 1st. Todd recently appeared on Candy Burra Speak On It podcast.
The two discussed quite a bit, but one of the most interesting parts came when the former Real Housewives of Atlanta star asked about the issues his family has with Lindsie. It's worth noting that Todd had Lindsie with his first wife, but Julie later legally adopted her. He began by saying that she was involved in the FBI investigation and that she helped to start that. When Candy asked why, Todd said, Lindsie was on the show and the network made the decision that they wanted to make Lindsie kind of like a friend to the show. Todd went on to explain that Lindsie lived in Atlanta while they lived in Nashville, and she didn't want to be open about her marriage. This was an issue because the show would pay for her to travel back and forth to film, as well as for childcare, and they wanted to find ways to trim the budget. He emphasized that he never wanted Lindsie to be demoted because it would make her feel ostracized. He continued, they took her off the show. Then there was a threat of litigation from her side against the production company, and you know yourself, when you start suing the network, that's a problem, and you're now in a position where they are never gonna call you back. Todd then said, so that happened, and then we find out from this girl that Kyle was dating. She called and told us that Lindsie was working with Josh Waits, who worked for the Georgia Department of Revenue, who has now been fired, and the Georgia Department of Revenue paid us $1 million in a settlement. He added, she was working with him and giving him information about the family.
Candy then asked how it felt for his daughter to do this.
The reality star responded, I don't know that pain will ever go away. I think sometimes there are certain things that happen in your life that the pain never goes away.
You just learn to live with it.
When asked if he had called her, Todd stated that they had talked and that she had denied that she had worked with the Department of Revenue. However, they then had it confirmed that she'd worked with them after the indictment came down, and their attorneys gained access to the information the government agency had.
Todd also said, then there were emails between her and the FBI.
It was heartbreaking, and it still is, Candy. The Chrisley Knows Best star also stated that he does not communicate with Lindsie, and he has asked God to temper my heart and to take away all the bitterness and all the anger.
And for God to bless her because I do love her son.